How can the education system better prepare entrepreneurs?
Well, I think the education system in many cases has failed entrepreneurs when they were in it. There's a very high rate of dyslexia among successful founders of companies who've gone on to be incredibly successful. And I think that as you listen to their stories, they largely say that they didn't do well in school, they were ignored, they weren't looked after properly. So in a way, I want education to continue failing those people because those are the people that go on and create great companies. But I think, having good ingredients is going to hopefully create a good result, a good dish, a good person. Having good education hopefully gives people the right tools with which to grow a company. I'm really glad that I did go to school and then I went to university. I studied philosophy and politics, completely useless in terms of a business application, but learning to argue, make a case, thinking about strategy and having your eyes wide open, looking at the reasons why or why not, I think were important building blocks in my development. And I don't know whether the solution is teaching people that they should start a company or how to start a company. But I think there are big gaps in the market today. There's massive gaps in computer science graduates. There's not enough of them. There are not enough people who know how to code to build the future. If you think about, there's a bottleneck in our new digital revolution, much like the Industrial Revolution. People to run the machines. It's much easier to learn how to operate a machine than it is to write code in a way that will in a way that will scale. So I think we need more smart people being trained in the right technology and the right tools. We need good examples of the fact that channel, that profession is a road to financial success, having your parents not hate you, all these things. We just need to make that acceptable. So maybe it's not education and informal education, but it's educating the world that this is actually, a good thing to do and why. Funnily enough, I think things like the social network, like movies, like it becoming part of the kind of society's consciousness that this is a viable option, particularly in places like London where well-educated kids go into the banking industry. Actually, the bankers have done us a huge favor because, that's not necessarily the right place to go anymore. They've got a bad rep. Whereas, taking a few risks, joining a startup business, maybe that looks better to people's parents and to their social group. So I think it is changing. I think we definitely need to teach more people how to, how to code and make it acceptable to get into this line of work because the future depends on it. So we need to change our mindset, I think, a bit there.